as the cost of higher education continues to rise and university enrollment drops, businesses in college towns are feeling the pain. Take a look at this. Whether private, nonprofit, public in-state, or public out-of-state, all across the board, you are seeing drastic price increases with the potential of spending upward of $30,000 for a four-year institution. So let's look at how this is affecting overall enrollment numbers. We'll get specific here, starting with the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Their enrollment going from 43,000 in 2014 up to 59,000 this past fall. That's an increase of nearly 16,000. But what about their smaller state school, University of Western Illinois? Just the opposite, going from 11,000 in 2014 down to just 5,500 this past fall. So there's no doubt this decrease is affecting Western's beloved town of Macomb, Illinois. But what could that mean for other local economies? Could we soon see some of these small college towns turning into ghost towns? So here with me now to discuss, the executive director of the Alliance for Research on Regional Colleges, as well as a professor at Appalachian State, Andrew Koricich. Professor, thank you so much for giving us some of your time today. Like so many problems, this one obviously has layers. What do you think is the biggest contributor to this decline that's happening at state colleges and then in the surrounding communities?
One of the biggest challenges that state institutions have had in recent years, it comes down a lot to state funding. Whenever we're going through a period of years that states go through the Great Recession, that had financial consequences for institutions. Then we go through the COVID-19 pandemic, that had financial consequences for institutions. And as these things keep stacking up, especially for smaller regional campuses, that can put a real strain on their budgets and can really put a strain on the students they're trying to serve, as they have to make up for any funding cuts from the states by raising tuition.
So, Andrew, if things don't turn around, if these funding issues continue, what do you think things look like in the next 10 or 20 years?
A lot of it, I think, is going to depend on the individual community. You have some communities with colleges that the colleges are growing, even smaller regional campuses, but a lot of times they're also bolstered by other regional strengths, population growth, new industries coming in. In those places where that's not quite the case, there is really a razor's edge that's being walked, because whenever we have these colleges that close, the immediate impact is losing an educational outlet and is losing sort of that immediate employment. But what's often lost beyond that is these are often the best paying jobs in some small communities, and that there are a lot of businesses that crop up over the years to support the college, and there are businesses that support those businesses. And so what really happens is whenever you have a college that shrinks significantly or, unfortunately has to close, it's not just that community or that campus that feels it. It really starts to have impacts across a regional supply chain.
And in those places that are kind of on the razor's edge, as you described there, what do you think it's going to take to really see things turn around?
Some of it is going to require some innovation from institutions, thinking about how they can adapt to reach different student populations, to make sure that the things they're offering are things of value to students and into their communities. But I think it's also about advocating in state houses for the reasons why well-funded higher education systems are good for our entire country, and it's good for our national security, and it's good for our economy. But a lot of it is really convincing people that college has value in their lives, and it helps move them forward at a cost that they're willing to pay.
And I have to ask, do you think part of this, it maybe is somewhat inevitable? That in just the fact that situations and circumstances are always changing. Nothing stays the same, both good and bad. So do you think there was going to be some change regardless?
Yeah, you were just talking about Harvard. Harvard's been around for almost 400 years, and it's seen a lot. And we've had colleges that have survived the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, Great Depression, and so on. And so a lot of it is cyclical, and the world happens around our colleges, and colleges have to adapt. I think some of it is just these challenges all hit at a time and in a way that it sort of is challenging the models in which colleges used to adapt, and they're really having to rethink what their mission and their activities look like in a new world.
Absolutely. Professor Andrew Koricich, thank you so much for giving us some of your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.